All right, so I want to talk about something that's going to sound a little corny, but stick with me, okay? Stick with me now. Most people are not living a mission driven life, okay? They're just existing. And I may have touched on this slightly in a past episode, but I kind of want to go deeper on this. Most people I feel like just going through the motions. They checking the boxes, they doing whatever they're supposed to do, right? And then they wonder why they still feel empty on the inside. That's because you're missing purpose. You're missing your mission. A mission driven life means you know why you're doing what you're doing. Okay. Not what you're doing, actually why you're doing it. Most people can tell you what they do for work, but if you ask them why they do that for work, crickets. I need money. Okay, why? To pay my bills. Okay, and then what? To survive? I don't know. Bro, that's not a mission. Okay, that's just a hamster wheel. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's just a hamster wheel. A mission is way bigger than you. A mission is the reason you keep going when life gets really, really hard. And that's why people give up so much on so many things because they don't attach what they're doing to the actual mission, to the actual purpose, because they don't have one. It's easy to give up when you don't know why you're doing what you're doing. Because why? That's the first question that come in your mind. Why am I even doing this? You know? And if I'm being really real, I think most people are just living the life their parents wanted. You know what I mean? Or the life that society told them to want. Go to college, get a good job, buy a house, retire, die. And look, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? If that's the path that you actually want. But for most people, it's not. And you can see it in their eyes when you're talking to them. They be 35 years old out here, making really good money, checking all the boxes, but they still feel dead inside. And it's because they never stop to ask themselves, is this what I actually want? Or is this what I'm supposed to want? Do not be out here living your parents' dream when your own dream is just collecting dust. That's a bar. And I think the money be tripping a lot of people up. And what I mean by that is they think if they make enough money, then one day they gonna just automatically figure out their purpose. Let me just stack my bread real quick, let me just get my coin, girl. And then I'm gonna do what I'm passionate about later. But that day never comes. Why? Because they get comfortable, they get bills, they get responsibilities. And next thing you know, they stuck doing something that they don't care about because they can't afford to leave now. You know what I mean? A paycheck pays your bills, but it does not feed your soul. Bars. A paycheck can pay your bills, but it cannot feed your soul, y'all. And you can tell, man, people who live a mission driven life, they just separate themselves. You can tell, this is how you can tell if somebody's living a mission driven life. They got so much energy all the time, okay? They're focused. They're not distracted by every new opportunity that pops up. They know exactly where they're going, so they don't waste time on things that's not aligned with their destination. Meanwhile, the people without a mission, they all over the place. They trying every side hustle, they jumping on every trend, they chasing whatever look cool this week. You can't be everything to everybody, okay? You gotta pick a lane and then drive. Now, people hear mission driven life and think, oh, this has to be some grand, world changing idea or something like that. Like you got to cure cancer or world hunger or something. No, that's not what I'm saying. Your mission can be raising great kids who are going to contribute to society in a positive way. Okay. Your mission can be building a business that employs people in your community, teaching other people what you know. It doesn't have to be big, it just has to be yours. You see the difference? It has to mean something to you because when life gets hard, and it will get hard, we all know it will get hard. Your mission is what's going to keep you going, okay? Money won't, fame won't, trying to go viral won't, and comfort definitely won't. But that mission going to carry you through the flames, baby. So, how do you find your mission? How do you figure out what your mission is? Start with these questions right here. I got some questions for you, all right? First question you want to ask yourself is, what pisses you off? Okay. What problem do you see in the world that you wish somebody would fix? Okay, let's start there because that's usually where your mission is hiding, right? The next thing you want to ask yourself is, what would I do if I didn't get paid? Okay, in other words, what do you care about so much that you would actually do it for free? That's usually a major clue, okay? Shout out to DJ Khaled. Major key. And lastly, you want to ask yourself, what do I want people to say about me when I'm gone? Not what car I drove, not how much money I made. What impact did you have? Okay, that's your mission. That's your mission. Man, I'm gonna even go as far as saying, like, if you don't have a mission, you're not really living. You know what I mean? You just surviving. Okay, you just going to work, coming home, watching TV and just repeating the same cycle over and over. That's not really a mission driven life. And one day you're going to wake up and be 50 years old and realize you spent your whole life doing nothing that mattered to you. You made other people rich, you made other people's dreams come true, but what about your dream? Now, a mission driven life is not going to be perfect, okay? It's still life. We still going to experience ups and downs, but it comes down to knowing why you're here and living in alignment with that, you know? It's about building a life that you're proud of, not just one that looks good on paper. We got to stop living on autopilot. Stop doing what you're supposed to do and figure out your mission and then build your life around that. And while you building your life around that mission, be sure to hit that follow or that subscribe for your boy wherever you listening to this. And as always, if you like this episode, send it to a friend. If you hated this episode, send it to an enemy. But regardless, thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And thank you for hearing me out. Peace.